Morning folks, a little bit chilly this morning, this Saturday morning in Lincolnshire. Just doing a bit of a video here of the Movano recovery truck that we brought in. Hope you're all well. It's 2011 2.3, 6-speed manual. It's the long wheelbase model. It's genuinely a long wheelbase model. So you know a lot of these things get sort of cut and shut and extended. So like the likes of the Tesco trucks and stuff like that, or the Asda trucks where they've been medium wheelbase or short wheelbase, you can see there that the chassis, it's actually on the end, the reg book as a long wheelbase, so it's a proper thing. It's at 174,000, which seems like a lot, but when you, again, if you're buying one of these and you're seeing the numbers that some of them are capable of, and some of them are advertised with 300,000 on 2015 plates, never mind a 2011 with 174. So it's nicely run in. These logos, I'm going to check. I think that's a Sapcoat bed. Again, if you know what you're looking at, it's a good brand. So it's an aluminium bed. It's a 3.5 ton truck, but the gross weight, I believe it can take, is 1,650. I will confirm that there on the adverts, but the listing, but that's I'm pretty sure. So it should take, you know, a standard family car, for want of a better word. It won't necessarily take a tank on the back of it, which is disappointingly why sort of we're not looking at it, plus the price of it, but because I know it's had lots of work done and it's been owned by a company that have give a damn about it, you know. It's very presentable, as you can see. I mean, it's got the LED beacons on the top, the running lights at the side. I actually quite like the bits and pieces, the stickers and stuff like that. I can't think of what I was going to say. The branding looks quite good. It's got work lights up here as well, which I'll put on, I'll show you in a moment, which is excellent for over the bed. It's got the winch backs. Winch. Unfortunately for the current owners, somebody stole their ramps, so there was new ramps purchased at a cost of almost £1,000 in the last 6 months. They've had no use really whatsoever. It's got airbags fitted, which is a good thing for keeping the level right height, obviously. And the tires, they're fairly new all around. They're sort of a what's the brand on them? Roadstone, but they're commercial tires, 225/65 R16C. So they're all commercial tires, a good spare. And you can see the chassis, very clean. I mean, that's the big thing with these, is to know that, you know, the rails at the back are clean. All the pipe work looks good. And as I said, it's got that, actually the bumper bar here at the front around the winch. It's also got the starter booster cables. I think that's what I have to check that. I know that it was pointed out to me. You've got the winch remotes, 2 of those. I'm about to do a video inside here, so you'll see the different when we're driving. It's very clean. There's the booster cables there. So that's the commercial boosters. And with it being the long wheelbase, it's just so much more practical in terms of use, because not everything is like a one box shape and square and small and practical, you know. So it's a good truck, and there'll be definitely interest from people in the commercial aspects of it, as well as same as ourselves, classic car business, classic car enthusiasts. You just don't know. I mean, it was pointed out to me that you could improve the truck a little bit, clean up the wheels and spray them, clean up any of that exposed metal work there. I mean, that's all standard for, you know, a vehicle that's being used. Let's face it, it's a commercial vehicle that is being used as a commercial vehicle, but it's a very, very clean example. I mean, look at the exhaust. And I mean, I've done a previous video showing the condition of everything, and those are just superficial, oh, I could tidy that up and improve it. You can have it just like sitting like a minter, you know. So again, I'll go into the cab and you'll see covers in the seats. I haven't pulled them up, but I'll take some photos of them. The roof and everything else all clean. A little bit of wear in the steering wheel. Again, 175,000 miles to be expected. Electric windows, electric mirrors, good pockets everywhere. There's actually good space in these Movanos. I've used the Nissan one before previously and done quite a long journey to Southampton in it, and it was very comfortable. The beacon lights and different things up there, which we'll knock on in a moment, you'll see. CD, and as I said, 6-speed gearbox. But yeah, very clean, very presentable everywhere. Let's see, actually, if we can get, there we go, there's the seat covers there. I mean, that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And that's the air suspension setup, so you're seeing what's going on. And they're good heavy duty ones. Okay, right, I'll put the key in and we'll start it up, do the lights and all the rest of it. Hello, Mr. Radio. And there's the different lights, as I said. Oh. There we go. So you see they are on a standard, the running lights, which is excellent. And then the bed lights here at the back, which is just so practical for when you're working. And then the beacon at the front, on top. And it's a proper LED one. But the truck's so clean generally, it's such a nicely presented truck. There's no heavy wear anywhere. And as I said, it's tasteful, it looks good, it's aged well. And a private plate in this here, you could be getting away with a truck that looks maybe what, 2017, 2018 I think, before they changed these. I could be wrong, but good set of lights as well all around. But that's fine. Let me see if I can see where the, there we go. Have a look under the bonnet. Oh, it's cold today. There we go. Very clean. It's had whatever it's needed done in-house. I know the cam belt's been changed and serviced, and I have more information. I just don't have it to hand, so I'm not going to start spouting off what's been done. I would suggest that, I mean, the current owner is the third owner, so I would suggest that it's been a fleet vehicle probably for the first owner, if not the first two owners. And there will be history somewhere, it's just not just available currently. So what you're buying is the vehicle with information leading to the current service history that's been done. I'll get a record of that there from the... We have it, I just don't have it again to hand, and I don't want to start spouting off about it. Let me see, we'll get some heating on here because it is cold. Nice one. Right, we're going to do a bit of a video. I think there's a reversing camera there, is that working? There's a reversing buzzer. Maybe needs repaired, I don't know, I'll have to have a look at that. You can hear the buzzer, but it's very practical, loads of space. Generally, it's a nice place to be. Right, I'm going to set up the video here so that we can do a bit of a test drive video with you. One moment, guys. Okay, folks, so we'll do a bit of a test run on the truck here. We're going to try and do this now and everything. I was just trying to get the camera mount set up. So we'll have a reverse beacon, or reverse buzzer should I say. And I'm going to nip in and get my sunglasses in a moment, because even though it's freezing, the sun is coming out, which is typical. I mean, we asked you to do your own checks, because obviously we'll get information from our customer and we'll also get information ourselves, but it's not necessarily always the right time or the right information at the right time. So initial thoughts is I need to move the seat. Drives very well, quiet, as I said, comfortable. It's missing cruise control. Now, some of them had it and some of them didn't. You could specify it. Doesn't have air conditioning. In this country, not so much of a big deal, but I mean, that would be a luxury that you would like, but only the later cars really, or trucks, have them. But cruise control, if you're doing lots of driving, it's something that I would certainly add. Oh, there's the police. It was something I would definitely add, because to be quite honest with you, it's lots of driving, you want comfort, and if you've got a comfortable truck for doing that there, you would definitely also want the cruise control. So yeah, it is. I mean, there's loads of space. I've just sat back in the seat and I'm thinking to myself, bloody hell, the space that there is. I mean, the vehicle that we took on it the last time, we had the NV 200 or 300, whatever it is, the Nissan version of this, and it was a hire vehicle, and we moved Jaguar XJS on the back of it from Southampton, and you felt it was the same engine, it was the same gearbox, everything else that's in this. You felt the weight of the Jag on the back, no doubt about it. But it done it. It didn't complain, it didn't strain, there was no squeals or cracks or yapping or anything coming out of the engine, the gearbox, the clutch, the brakes or anything. And it was a long wheelbase, so you strapped it down and you went on your way, and it actually, other than being, I suppose, a bit more prepared, as you would be expected to be if you were pulling a trailer or a caravan and you're coming to junctions, so you know that you've got something pushing you there rather than just, you know, the weight of the vehicle. It was absolutely fine, and I mean, a Jag XJSC is definitely not the lightest thing in the world, so it was absolutely fine. And this is unloaded, it's quiet, I hope you can hear me. There's no bother with it. I'm sitting at 50 miles an hour and it's just driving along happy as, comfortable. I think the air suspension at the back, the airbags, will definitely make a difference to the ride. The one that we had didn't have that. And beyond anything else, and creating a level ride at the back once you've got your weight on board, you know, because you can adjust it up and down to basically compensate. So beyond it being looking right and looking level, the comfort factor to support the rear suspension, which is just the metal bars, torsion bars. Probably got the wrong phrase, but you know what I mean. That's essentially what's on the back. So it will support that, and it'll give a better ride comfort overall. As it stands now, with it being unloaded, it's lovely. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. You know, you would expect for 174,055 miles, and it to be 11 years old of a working vehicle, you would expect a very squeaky, rattly, I mean, even if it was a Merc Sprinter, anything at all that has this sort of information, or sorry, this sort of vehicle life prior, it would be, you know, you'd expect a worn feeling. It doesn't feel like that at all. It really doesn't. It drives and sounds lovely. I'm really impressed, and I think anybody that buys this, look, you know, you're buying it to be used. It's not like a classic car where you're buying it to admire and clean and use it a little bit and improve it and different things. This is a working tool. It's spent its life as a working tool. It is going to continue its life as a working tool. And what you want it to be is practical. You want it to be reliable. You want it to be value for money. It's definitely, I think it's value for money. mean, we're guiding it at 6,000 to 7,000. There's no commercial VAT on it, so you'll pay the VAT and our fees, but there's no VAT. It's a margin vehicle, so it's 6,000 to 7,000 plus our fees. And at the end of the day, I think it's definitely value for money. And what I would say to you is, if you're saying, oh, we could get maybe a slightly higher mileage, 2013, 2015 or whatever, you know, you could. I'm not going to debate that and lie to you and talk nonsense. If you're in the market for one of these, it's not like a classic car, it's not necessarily a one-off. So you could get a younger vehicle, but you may not get one that's been as well used. You might get one that's been very transient and through lots of hands. You know, a hire vehicle like the one that we hired, that every day it was a different driver. You know, nobody giving a damn about it. So it got serviced on time, but it got abused while it was being used. 3 owners from you, and you can tell that this is as tight as a knot, really, that it's been looked after. And it's a pleasure to drive, actually. It really is. I feel like putting a thumbs up and saying, I recommend it. Can you see? I recommend it. You know, it's sort of one of those ones. So if you're a transporter not wanting to get into a 7.5 ton rig and the O licenses and all the nonsense that goes with that, fair dues. It's a better setup in that sense. But if you're an occasional user, 20 grand for a rig like that, so unless you're determined to use the Touareg or the tow car as your daily, okay, so there you go, the 10 grand for that could be written off for that on that basis. You're spending it anyway, but you're still out £10,000 for a very stealable trailer, very easy to steal. And that's not against Brian James, that's generally. Trailers are hugely easy to steal and they're very, very difficult to track. And you know, there you go, 10 grand for something that can be just lifted when you're out and about. And it happens. I know ones that have basically parked up at services and come out and their trailer's been gone unhitched. Vehicles on the back, never mind, they don't care. Empty, they don't care. Hitch locks, they don't care, they get them away. So you come back to this and say 7 grand plus fees, say, for this. It's not much, really, is it? It's a you call it a bit of a bargain. And you know, even if you're not using it often, but you're using it to move your classic car or your classic race car, or you know, you run a body shop and you're moving the occasional vehicle for customers, it's not bad. It really isn't. You can logo it up so it's an advertising tool for your business. You know, it says recovery on it and has the tire tracks on it, which looks good, but it could be branded to suit your company very easily. And it's doing like a dual purpose thing, so you know, I've yet to be disappointed with this, and that's only a good thing. If I had any gripe, it's the cruise control. That's it. That's it. Doesn't feel like 174,000 miles, doesn't drive like 174,000 miles. It clearly has been looked after, it clearly hasn't been abused. It's clean inside, all the extra little benefits, the LED beacon, the air suspension, the heavy duty Winchmaster Winchmax winch, which with the remote controls, the rear lights that are over the bed so that you see what you're working in at night if you're doing jobs in the evening or at night. The booster cables. There's so many little niceties through this truck that just give it that little push above a standard one, above a higher vehicle. You can tell that it's been somebody's pride and joy. You can tell that the owner of it made sure that they had the right stuff in it for themselves. They didn't do that to sell, because let's face it, if they'd done it to sell, they've thousands into it, and all of those bits that I've just mentioned there, they've done it for their own benefit, and it's being passed on to you because they've moved into a different truck. They needed a tilt bed for the contracts that they were on. Classix, the 2 troublemakers out on their mountain bikes. I'll speak to you in a bit. Cheers.